In this episode, we start with a few mystery word prompts, a collection of sunset colors, experimental textures, and 1 hour to pull it all together. No plan, no expectations, and no idea where we're heading. So stick around and see where we land. Part 1, Finding My Art Story. Every picture tells a story. It could be a story about a Japanese hot pot chef who takes pride in the culinary excellence of his craft. Or a story about a moon dance and what happens after hours when the lively fruit and tableware come to life. Or perhaps an art story waiting to be told. So what will my art story be about today? So here we have our mystery word prompts. Let's see what they are. Our person is Talia, place is desert, object pocket watch, the color is coral, and the story takes place at sunset. So to begin, I've mixed up a batch of coral color paint with some black and white there at the bottom, and be using those colors, along with some sunset colors, which I'm going to bring in later. And I'm starting the clock at 60 minutes. I wanted to mention that my artist friend Katherine is also joining me on this challenge. We're working separately so we don't influence each other, so it will be a surprise at the end to see how differently each of our pieces turn out using the same prompts and color story. So I'm thinking that since I'm in the desert, I want to make some texture, maybe like sand dunes. So I'm ripping up 3 different types of paper. I've got some rice paper, some regular tissue paper, and this medical exam paper, which is just a very thin paper. And I'm going to be using my spray bottle and my Liquitex matte medium to glue this paper down. So making textures with this paper. Anyway, I've never quite done this before. I usually don't start out with a white paper, but let's see, I'm going to try this very light fan brush to add some wash of coral. Hopefully that'll look like a textured desert. So I stopped the clock to let this dry and to grab another piece of paper, which I've gessoed, heavyweight paper, and I have an idea here. We'll see how this goes. I thought I'd be making a landscape. Then I thought maybe I'll make a vase with a scene on it, just something a little different. So anyway, making a pattern for the vase here, which I'll cut out, and then I will use it to trace onto that heavyweight art paper, and take it from here. Anyway, this is a technique of tracing I tried, but it didn't work exactly perfectly, but yeah, I can trim it up a little bit by just doing a soft fold on this, and yeah, there we have it. Now I'm bringing in a collection of sunset colored collage papers in all different weights and paper types, and restarting the clock at 46 minutes and 48 seconds. So I think I'll start by just tearing in these papers. See, yeah, very loose. Creating my sunset on this vase. Not exactly sure where this is going, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, I thought I'd make the sky as the base to my sunset, and glue that down with a bunch of the matte medium as the glue, and fold this around, glue it on the back here. Okay, just gonna go around the edges, And yeah, I'm kind of liking the way this is looking. It gives me an idea for some future artwork too, and that's really what this is about. Making this 1 hour art is just finding new ideas. Things that I would normally not try because I would be too careful, just spending too much time. Basically just overthinking, but no time to overthink, so I'm just slapping on these sunset colors and see how this works out. It's okay if it doesn't, but yeah, it's kind of giving me some ideas, like I said, for things I'd like to try in the future. Continuing on here, I think I will put a little top on this vase, a little edge detail. So I'm going to stop the clock and let this dry. So bringing back my background color, and I'm going to try to jazz this up here with a little edge detail. This is a piece of, there's my dark, I've made a dark coral with, added a little copper color to my coral. And this stencil I'm using for the edge is actually a piece of sheetrock tape. It's kind of a plastic with kind of has a sticky side on it, so it makes a good stencil. And just adding this edge detail because this is rather plain and I don't have a lot of time to mess with it, so I'll try this. Okay, now I'm bringing back my, oh no, I almost forgot about the pocket watch. So after a few attempts, I finally got a good circle with the compass, and I'm going to paint that with a flat brush, do the edge around the compass. I'm bringing in that dark coral that I added a little bit of copper to make a dark copper. And now bringing back the vase, and I think I'll put a little bottom edge detail on that now, jazz it up a bit more. So now it's about time I bring in my story. In the early evening, Talia settled onto a bench outside the coral sands. Behind her, the hotel's coral walls glowed richly in the fading light. She turned the pocket watch over in her fingers, an object she'd pulled from a pile of trinkets at a street bazaar that morning. She rubbed her thumb slowly across its face and gazed towards the horizon as the sun dissolved into the sky. And then it happened. A small pond outside the courtyard caught the colors of the sunset, its reflection traveling from the water to a large iridescent vase that stood nearby. Talia glanced down. Her thumb was still moving across the face of the watch, and with the scene before her, she knew that moment that somehow this watch held magic and had opened a door to another realm. So that's it for my story this week. I'm touching this vase up, a couple of imperfections. I'm using a Posca pen, which is an acrylic pen, to fix that. And now I have this little watch. I drew some Roman numerals, and I'm going to put a couple of hands on there. And yeah, I will wrap this up. And in the end, I will reveal the final results. And here we have my final piece, the sunset vase, which only took me 50 minutes. So it was a little quicker this time. I like this piece. I like some components of it. I think it would have been more effective if the vase would have been a little bit smaller. It kind of overwhelmed the page, but it was an interesting idea. So now I'm going to move on to Katherine's art and story. The Spanish Badlands of Leon offered no mercy. Talia wandered lone under an unrelenting sky, her body failing her. Heat exhaustion crept in. Then she saw it, a Salvador Dali-style pocket watch, melting soft as wax atop the hot sand, with hands appearing as two wise snakes. In the distance, she saw the immense form of a demigod in the rocks. She wanted to believe he was there to rescue her. Then she went unconscious. She woke to the rain on her face. Talia opened her eyes and saw the same vision, only now the mirage was real. The demigod had come to quench her body and soul with a downpour of rain. For 20 blissful minutes she lay there, held by something timeless and wise, until she was rescued and safely carried home. So that wraps things up for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.